Spring Basics. You should know what is IOC container, what is dependency injection. Okay, you should know stereotype annotations, Spring data annotations like @autovide, @value. Okay, this kind of annotation you should know. Then only you can continue in this batch, because this is the entry to where Spring Basics are required in order to learn Spring Boot, and in order to learn microservices, Spring Boot knowledge is required. So the batch is Spring Boot and microservices. Is that clear, guys? Okay, guys. Manikanta P, May 31st is today. How can I upload the video without completing class? Be active, Mr. Manikanta. Be active. Don't type things just like in the chat box. Get up completely or sleep completely. Please, guys. Fine. And only initial classes videos will be there in the YouTube channel, not every video. Okay, guys. Now, shall we get into the discussion? Using Spring Boot, we can develop A, standalone applications, B, web applications, C, distributed applications. Okay, guys. Standalone applications, web application, distributed applications. So these are the three typical applications we can develop by using what? Spring Boot. Okay, listen, guys. These web applications and distributed applications, also called as enterprise applications. Web application, distributed applications, also called as what? Enterprise application. Okay, guys. An enterprise application, I'll explain what is what. An enterprise application can be only web application or only distributed application or combination of both. Understanding my point there? Yes, guys. Spring Boot can develop the above applications. The above application either having monolithic architecture. Are you listening my point, guys? Monolithic architecture. That means multiple services as multiple modules of single project. Multiple services as multiple modules of single project. That is monolithic architecture, guys. Or having microservices architecture. What is microservices architecture? Other day I have discussed this, guys. Come on. Multiple services as multiple projects. Multiple services as multiple projects and integrating them later. That's the beauty, guys. Spring Boot is capable of developing monolithic architecture applications. Spring Boot is capable of developing what? Microservice architecture based applications. Are you getting my point, guys? Right, boss. Now listen. I think in last class we got a chance to see what is the difference between both. So I'm just trying to copy paste. Okay. May 31st here, guys. Have a look. This is just what is what. E-commerce application or e-commerce project having monolithic architecture, guys. Sales module, payment module, inventory module, promotions module. Promotions module. All are modules. So overall one project will be there. In that one, 4 modules are there. E-commerce application having microservices architecture. Okay, sales microservice, separate project. Payment microservice, separate project. Promotions microservice, separate project. Inventory microservice, separate project. Guys, in last session we spent time on it, right? Okay. We spent time on it. We got basic idea about what is monolithic architecture, what is e-commerce. Okay, now let us try to understand. Let us try to understand. Basic behavior will not change. Basic purpose will not change, but the way they are integrated is different in monolithic architecture and what is that microservice architecture. So shall we start concentrating on what is standalone application, guys? Our main focus is understanding difference between web application and distributed application. That should be our main focus, guys. Listen carefully. The application that is specific to one computer and allows only one user at a time to operate is called what application, guys? Standalone applications. What application, guys? Standalone applications. Okay, guys. Example, class with main method. Anything is what? Class with main method. Yes, in Spring Boot also we can develop class with main method applications, guys. Class with main method application, which is basically standalone. We developed our first application in Spring Boot. Definitely allows only one user at a time. Stand alone, stands single. Okay, stand alone, stand single. Understanding my point, guys? Okay. So class with main method. If I want to give other examples, I can give calculator application. Antivirus software. Antivirus software is always standalone. That's why you have to install in every computer separately. Antivirus software. Come on, desktop game. What, guys? Desktop game and etc. All these are standalone applications, boss. Okay, let's not waste much time on it. Okay, web application. But let me give some basic idea here, guys. We generally use Spring Boot core module. What module? Spring Boot core module. In Spring core module. In Spring Boot core. All modules are same in Spring and Spring Boot, guys. Okay. So if you develop in Spring approach, that is called Spring core, Spring module. If you develop in Spring Boot approach, that is called Spring Boot module. Are you listening my statement, guys? So Spring is full of modules. In latest version 5.x, 20 plus modules are there. Got it? We generally use a Spring Boot core module to develop these standalone applications. Spring Boot core module to develop these standalone applications. Understanding my point there? Okay. Yeah, by taking a concept of Spring Basics. Surya Kumar, after listening entire Ramayana, don't put the same message in the chat box for the confirmation. Please listen completely. Keep the good habit of listening completely, digesting completely. I have given statement what Spring modules are there. Same modules also there in Spring Boot. Only the thing is, if you develop application in Spring style, that is called Spring Boot Spring module. If you develop the same application in Spring Boot style, that is called Spring Boot module. This is exact statement I have given. And again, you are innocently asking, Spring Boot is also having 20 modules. Yes, Spring Boot is also having 20 modules. Why? Because same 20 modules you can code in Spring Boot style. Are you listening completely, guys? Don't write messages in the chat box for confirmation. Only questions are entertained. Use a chat box effectively. Okay, guys. Are you understanding my point there? So we generally use a Spring Boot core module to develop this standalone application. In Spring, Spring core. In Spring Boot core. Spring Boot core. So lots of people cannot digest this statement because they feel Spring Boot is also another module in Spring. No, Spring Boot is not another module in Spring. Spring Boot is another framework that is built on the top of Spring. That's a point one. Point two, Spring Boot, an approach of developing Spring application. Total 4 approaches are there to develop Spring applications. Number one, using XML driven configuration. Number two, using annotation driven configuration. Number three, using 100% code driven configuration. Number four, Spring Boot model of application development. So that's why if you don't treat Spring Boot is another module of Spring, you digest this statement. If you feel Spring Boot is also one more module in Spring, you never digest this statement. So Spring Boot is another framework that is built on the top of Spring. Spring Boot is an approach of and a way of developing Spring applications. Is that clear? Okay. So we generally use Spring Boot core module to develop what? These applications. Web application, boss. It is client server application. Today's class is very important. What is capability of Spring Boot? I am going to talk today. It is a client server application where server application is software application handling HTTP request and generating HTTP response. Where server application is handling HTTP request, comma, generating HTTP response, where client application is browser software. Okay, generating, server is handling, browser is generating HTTP request and comma getting HTTP response. Getting HTTP response. Listen, guys, Server browser gives HTTP request. Server application takes that request, process that request, and generates what? HTTP response. And that response comes to browser. And HTTP is a protocol. We all know that. HTTP is a protocol. Browser and server application will interact with each other using which protocol, guys? HTTP protocol. So I think this is my machine one, guys. This is my machine one. This is my machine two. Machine means physical computer. Don't say physical computer as a system. Why? The word system is reserved to represent software projects. Really, sir? Okay, look at the titles of the projects, guys. Look at the title. Hotel management system. Come on. Library management system. The word system is representing what, guys? Software project. Software project of physical computer. Software project. That's why machine, computer, box, these are very popular terminologies in real time. Sometimes they even call with operating system box, Windows box, Linux box, Ubuntu box, Mac box, Mac box. Are you understanding my statement? Yes. Now listen carefully. So this is my web server. This is my web server. Yeah, sir, why web server? Why web server is required here? Why web server is required? Tell me, guys, website should give service in a specific amount of time or 24 by 7? Everyone, please respond. Website should give 24 by 7 service or only for 1 2 hours? Guys, give me 2 minutes time. I'm getting call from office. I'm getting call from office. I will come back once this call is attended. Give me 2 to 5 minutes time. I'll come back. Guys, everyone, please come back. Sorry for inconvenience. Yeah, only office calls I will take, guys. Remaining calls I will ignore. Please cooperate. I have a small team to maintain. Okay, so only office calls I have to attend. You have to cooperate with me. Right, boss. Yeah, machine 1 and machine 2, guys. Here is my web server. Why web server, sir? Array, standalone application is specific to one computer, right? How many users will operate that application? One user. Yes, na? So whenever you want, he will start manually. Whenever you want, he will stop the application. Hey, calculator, guys. Whenever you want, he will launch. Whenever you want, he will stop. After all, one user, right? After all, one user. But now tell me, once a website is kept in the internet, that will be used by one user or lakhs of users. That will be used by one client or lakhs of clients. Okay, lakhs of crores of people. Is there any guarantee all of them will give request at same time? No, no. And is there any guarantee they will give request from the same machine where website is there? They will give request from same machine where website is there, or they will give request from any location of the world, any location. So since they are giving request from different location, definitely they cannot be there in the machine where website is running. Can we ask them to run web application manually? Can we ask them to run web application manually? It's web components manually? Impossible. Impossible means impossible. Okay, guys. So that's why what should be there? A automated software should be there which runs our web application 24/7, so that it can take different requests coming from different users, okay, of different locations, okay, 24/7. And what is that software, guys? Web server software. What is that software, guys? Web server software. Are you understanding my statement, guys? I know most of the people aware of this, but I'm just trying to present, boss. Because for me, newcomers are important. For me, basics are very important. So that's why we need one web server software having web application. This is my web application, guys. This is my web application. Web application also called as, okay, web application. So here we are having web components, programs, guys. Here we'll be having web components. These are web components like HTML program, servlet program, JSP programs, different web components, guys. Web component. Each web component is responsible to take the request and to process the request. Web component. Now listen carefully, guys. This browser, this will have a browser, was. This will have a browser window. This gives what request? HTTP request. Who takes a request? Web server takes a request and passes to web application. Web application passes to web component. Are you listening, guys? Web component will process the request and delivers the response to whom? Web server. And web server delivers that response to whom? Browser. As what? HTTP response. Yes, guys. Request using protocol HTTP, that's why HTTP request. Response using protocol HTTP, that's why HTTP response. Everyone getting my point, guys? Right. So as usually here there will be one network, boss. Small network will be there. Right, boss. Understanding my statement? Okay. Now is that It is a client server application, where server application is a software application. Definitely. Handling HTTP request, generating HTTP response. It is taking HTTP request, processing that request, and generating output as what? HTTP response. Where client application is a browser software, generating HTTP request and getting what? HTTP response. Are you listening my statement, guys? Come on. All right. Okay. Standalone application is specific to one computer and will be operated by one user at a time. So manual execution of so manual execution takes place. Yes or no? No? Right. Okay. Once the web application is kept in internet, it can be requested by what is that? Lakhs of users from different locations using using browser softwares. Okay. 24/7. 24/7 means, na, 24 by, it can be requested by lakhs of users from different location using different browsers. Okay. 24/7. So manual execution of web application and its web components not going to work out. Is not going to work out. Is not going to work out. Okay. So we need a, come on guys, we need a special software to automate the execution of web application and its web components. Are you listening? Okay. That is nothing but web server software. That is nothing but web server software. Are you listening my statement, guys? Nothing but web server software. Web server software is a piece of software that automates web application and its web components execution. Web application and its web component execution. That means it takes a request from clients. It takes a request from clients. Clients means what, guys? Browsers. Okay. Passes them to appropriate web components of web application. Okay. Next, gathers the results. Gathers the results and passes them to okay, passes them back to clients. Nothing but browsers. Okay, browsers without human intervention. What guys? Human intervention. Is there any human intervention in this entire process, guys? Maybe generating requests by typing URL in the browser address bar or clicking on hyperlink, clicking on submit button. There only human intervention will be there. After that, okay, listening to that request continuously, taking that request. Come on. Listening to request continuously, taking that request, passing that request to appropriate web component of appropriate web application, executing web component, gathering results generated by web component, passing those results back to browser is going to happen automatically or not? Is going to happen automatically or not? So that means all the activities are automated or not? It takes a request from clients by listening to request continuously. Okay, passes them to appropriate web components of web application. Okay, next executes the web components dynamically. Come on. Dynamically gather the result. Okay, why it will execute? To process the request. I'm giving better statement now. I am to process the request. Okay. And gathers the results. Okay, gathers the result to pass them back to clients without any human intervention. Okay, everyone please look at the chat box message, guys. Day after tomorrow we are going to change the link. If anyone has not completed registration formalities, okay, please complete. And if anyone is having queries, okay, this is the number of this batch admin, guys. Okay, talk to him. First, try to communicate with him through WhatsApp. Okay, if service is not fulfilled, then only call him. So maximum try to avail his services through WhatsApp. He is the one admin person who has to give service to nearly to 3,000 to 4,000 students. So talking to every student practically impossible. That's why try to avail his services through WhatsApp. If in case of some emergency or some communication gap has come, things are not happening properly, then don't hesitate to call. Right, boss. Yes, guys. I hope you are understanding. Okay, now listen, guys. Any day you got a message from Gmail people. Today Gmail is not working. Early morning Gmail is not working. Late night Gmail is not working. Sundays Gmail is not working. 31st night, December 31st night, 12 o'clock Gmail is not working. You never ever got that message, guys. Why? There's no manual intervention. If manual execution of Gmail is there, then there is a possibility of getting this kind of issues, right? But everything is automated. Web server is everything is automated, right? That's why because of server, right? Because of web server, so application runs continuously. We can give requests to the web application continuously. We can gather results from web application continuously. So entire credit should be given to web server, boss. You develop the website, keep in web server, go to home and sleep. There is no need of sitting and executing each web component manually. There is no need of taking each request, handling each request manually. Everything is automated through web server, right? Okay, you may ask me one question. Sir, you can automate the execution of standalone application. Why are you not automating it? Array standalone application is specific to one computer, will be operated by one user at a time. One user at a time, what is the need of automation, Ra Babu? But website is not like that. It has to deal with what? Lakhs of requests coming from lakhs of clients 24/7, not in specific time also. If you keep thousand technical people to take the request and to execute the web components manually, one or other time human error will be there. So that's why no human beings are involved. Everything is automated through web server. I hope you convinced, guys. I'll give one better real life example. In your home, per day your mother has to prepare 10 rotis maximum. 10 rotis maximum. Tell me, guys, you will purchase roti maker or mother will prepare manual process? Mother will prepare through manual process or she will demand for roti maker? Definitely manual process, right? Okay. Yes, you have joined in hostel, boss. Engineering hostel or Amirpet hostel. Okay, where hostel people has to provide rotis for 100 students. Okay, 100 into 300 rotis they need to prepare each day. Now tell me, guys, they will prefer purchasing roti maker or they will keep an employee to do that work? Definitely they will try to purchase roti maker to automate the process. Give atta, give water, okay, mixing atta, okay, and preparing roti and even fry also will be taken care by that machine. Are you understanding? So our web server is also like roti maker, boss. I hope you convinced it, boss. nareshit.com. nareshit.com. Next, gmail.com. So like this, I need not to talk. yahoo.com. Array, all flipkart.com. All these are web applications only, na boss. Flipkart.com. Now listen. Okay. If server is not working, you have to maintain backup server also. Abhishek Singh. Sometimes server is not working means you are maintaining on single server. So there is a concept of backup servers, transparent failover, clustering. So Gmail is running with what? Multiple servers having clustered environment. Okay. nareshit.com is developed in PHP guys. Long back they developed in PHP. Right. Because Naresh IT is having all courses. No, long back they did in PHP, it seems. JRK, every day I'm sharing notes. I will share the link every day. I will share the notes every day. Every day you can collect the notes. Okay. Can we talk this kind of non-technical queries at the end? Please use a chat box to ask only relevant questions. I will take all questions, but at the end of the session, please. Now listen, guys. In Spring Boot, I'm giving only Spring Boot angle only. Servlet JSP as a technology, we can develop the website. Spring MVC is a framework to develop the web application. In Spring Boot, we have a Spring Boot MVC. In Spring Boot, we have a Spring Boot MVC. Are you listening, boss? Okay, Spring Boot MVC module. Spring Boot MVC module. Are you getting my point? Spring Boot MVC module. is given to develop okay web applications, web application based on MVC architecture. What architecture, guys? MVC architecture. MVC architecture. Array, for the timing, you remember model view controller architecture. Architecture, which is a layered architecture. Nothing but it will try to keep different logics in different layers, different files, different classes. Layered architecture, which is a layered architecture. Instead of keeping all the logics in single class or single file, it will tell that try to keep different logics in different places. Don't think much about MVC. I will talk more on it. Okay, I have not given any example for web servers, guys. Tomcat for Java people, Jetty for Java people for running Java applications, guys. Okay, next one, Apache web server. What is this? Apache web server for PHP people. IAS, Internet Information Server for Webla for .NET people, guys. .NET people. I think Node.js environment is there na for JS people. JavaScript people uses Node.js. So these are the examples for web applications. Okay, these are examples for web applications. 1 minute. I'll paste these examples over here. Yeah, Windows, Azure, AWS, they are the cloud boss. Please, cloud, Windows, Azure, AWS are the cloud examples. Cloud provides softwares and hardwares on rental basis. That means inside the cloud also the same thing will be there. See, sometimes we can arrange on our own in our computers. That is non-cloud environment. You don't arrange, go to cloud, get the hardware and software set up on rental basis. Okay, connected to cloud, use cloud-based hardware, use cloud-based software, complete your project development, complete your execution of project. Everything you do in cloud by taking software and hardware in rental basis. Okay, that is cloud environment. So that's why we cannot say AWS, Azure as what? Web servers or application servers. Okay, guys. Right, boss. Right, boss. Now listen. I think some confusion is there here. What about WebLogic, WebSphere, sir? There is a one more terminology called application server. As on today, you observe it is web server plus plus. Web server plus many things. Web server plus many things. Are you listening? It's a basically web server, but extra facilities are there. What are the extra facilities? Technical, you don't worry today. So examples for application servers are WebLogic, Glassfish, Come on, guys. Wildfly, JBoss. JBoss is no more, guys. In that place only Wildfly has come. Okay. JRun, this is also a bit outdated. WebSphere, costliest server boss. That's why outdated, not so popular. WebSphere. Log4j is a tool, is not a web server, please. Right, guys, and etc. And etc. Now listen, guys. From Tomcat 7 onwards, some people calls it's a application server because more facilities are added. Tomcat 7 onwards, 7.x plus onwards can be called as application server. Okay, guys, application servers. Right, boss. Popular web server in the industry is a Tomcat. Popular application server in the industry is Wildfly server. Wildfly server is popular one in the industry. Web server category, Tomcat is popular. Application server category, Wildfly is popular. Second popular application server is Glassfish. Earlier it used to be WebLogic, not now WebLogic. WebLogic is becoming day-to-day heavyweight boss, and upgradation is also not happening properly. Compatibility issues are coming with the JDK versions also. That's why, okay, these two are very popular in the industry. This is number one. This is number two. And when it comes to this list, Tomcat is number one, guys. Okay, guys. WebSphere is costliest one and heavyweight one. Yes, Meenan. I don't give answer what you want. I will give answer according to my experience. You might be personally liking IBM products, but it does not mean I should choose IBM products every time. Got it or not now? I know there are some people who are very crazy about IBM products, like Maruti Suzuki cars in India. Good or bad, they will use IBM products only. Are not individual. There are some certain software companies, they personally like IBM products. Good or bad, they will use IBM products only. Especially US based software companies, guys. They are very crazy about IBM products. Good or bad, they encourage IBM products. Maybe IBM is from US, and that's why US based companies prefers what? IBM products. Understanding my point there. Okay, listen carefully. Most of the small scale websites are not there in Java. Most of the small scale websites are not there in Java. Naresh IT kind of small scale website need not to develop in Java. For that one, PHP is sufficient, .NET is sufficient, JavaScript is sufficient. Most of the small scale websites, 99% small scale websites are not there in Java. I'm giving clarity. Okay, 50% of medium scale website, university applications, university websites are there, na college websites. Okay, these websites also will not be, 50% will not be there in Java. Only 50% of medium scale websites and 90% of large scale websites where money is involved, security is required, performance is required, heaviness is there, then Java comes into picture. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Is that clear? Movie promotional websites. Maruti Suzuki launched a new model of car. Okay, those websites better to develop in PHP or .NET. University website, college websites, better to develop in what? .NET or JavaScript. .NET or JavaScript, they are medium scales. Where Java will come into picture? E-commerce, Flipkart.com, Amazon.com, banking applications, insurance application, where money is involved, where security is the top priority. Performance is the top priority. Even though 1 crore people are using application at a time, still everything should happen smoothly. Everything should happen smoothly. Then people thinks about what? Java. Java starts with big and ends with big. Where .NET PHP utilization stops, there Java utilization starts. So that's the reason most of the website looks like they are there in PHP. Because So many websites in the internet are small scale website or medium scale websites. Only 20 to 30% bigger projects are there in Java, but these are bigger. To complete each project, to maintain each project, years are required. Are you understanding my statement, guys? I hope everyone clear on websites. No confusion. Up to this, you are aware 1 hour other time. I know that. Now, what is left? Distributed application, also called as remoting application. Distributed application, also called as remoting application. Okay, guys. Ankit Abhishek, if you want to do time pass, please choose other faculty. I am not here to do time pass with you. You are learning Spring and now you are asking me why we learn Java. Sorry, boss, I am not here to entertain you people. Actually, I can ignore your question. But I want to alert others. Okay, mail me. I will give lengthy reason why we should learn Java. Or you come to my advanced Java session or join in core Java. Sir will tell why we should learn Java. But this is not the class to say why we should learn Java. If you are expecting such question, please join in core Java or advanced Java. Because this is for those students who already decided to, this is for those people who already decided to build their career in Java. Okay, boys. Fine. Distributed application. What is that, guys? Distributed application or remoting application, boss. Listen. It is a client server application. It is a client server application where both client and server applications are okay, software applications interacting with each other. Interacting with each other through method calls. Interacting with each other through method calls. Yeah, here method calls will be there, guys. No request, no response. Are you understanding my point there? Okay. Through method calls. No request and response. Everything is through method calls, guys. Understanding my point? Okay. Interacting through method calls. Next, guys. Here, the server application of distributed application allows different types of what, guys? Different types of local and remote client application, okay, to access various services of server application. Okay, guys. The different types of clients are the different types of client applications are the server application of distributed application allows different types of local and remote client application to access various services of server application. Yeah, what kind of applications it allows? Desktop client. Next, web application as a client. Okay. Fine. web application, mobile applications, array, desktop client applications as clients, web application as clients, mobile applications as clients. I think I said different types, na? Web applications also as clients, mobile applications as also clients. Okay, guys. Now tell me here, mobile applications as clients, guys. IVRS, IVRS applications as clients. Interactive voice response system, guys. Press 1, do this. Press 2, do this. Press 10, do this. Interactive voice response applications, guys. Okay, guys. Next, other distributed applications also can be there as clients. Other distributed applications also can be there as a client. One distributed application can become client to another distributed application. What do you say, guys? Possibility is there or not there? So see, so many options are there. So many options are there. Next, IoT devices. Sometimes IoT devices also can become clients, guys. IoT devices also can become clients. So can I give one small example here? Generally, web applications are okay. C2B applications. C2B means customer to business. C2B application, customer to business. End user will directly interact with website. Come on. Whereas distributed applications are IoT devices, boss, electronic devices. Internet of things are called IoT devices. Device with intelligence. Device with intelligence. It's okay. Device with self decision making capacity. Right. It's something like this. It's something like this. Your smartwatch. Your smartwatch, guys. Okay, guys. Whereas distributed applications are B2B applications, which also called B2B. B2B applications, business to business applications, guys. Now tell me. Okay, distributed applications are generally B2B application, business to business, no direct involvement of end user. Definitely, one application will talk with other application only. Okay, B2B application, guys. Is that clear? Okay, now listen, boss. I'll take one small example here. Let's see, guys. SBI, SBI application, boss. SBI server application. SBI banking application. What is this? Banking application, which is basically server application of distributed application. Server application of distributed application. Okay, boss. Everyone focus, my dears. Everyone focus, my dears. So this is server application, boss. Server application. In this one, so various modules will be there. Now listen. Mod 1, Module 1, module 2. After today's class, I don't want to see my students confused about standalone application, web application, distributed application, and developing these application using monolithic architecture and developing these application using microservice architecture. Technically, you don't know. How to practically implement, you don't know. But still, you should be in a position to visualize what is what. Am I becoming successful in that? Am I becoming successful in that? This is needed discussion or not? Yes. Module 1, module 2, module 4, guys. Now listen carefully. Yeah, as of now, SBI application, you assume it is a monolithic application only. If they want, they can convert into web service. That's not a big discussion now, right? Okay, guys. Here is end user. Here is end user. Here is end user, guys. Here is website. Here is website. Yes, boss. Using website, people can interact with this SBI banking application or not. Maybe for withdrawal, maybe for with deposits, for credit card payment, what is that? Debit card payment, net banking, whatever it is, boss. Okay, website. I'm assuming this is flipkart.com. Flipkart.com. Are you understanding my point, guys? Okay, flipkart.com. Yeah, end user operates flipkart.com, guys. Whenever netbank is chosen, or so then what happens? What happens? This flipkart.com will interact with what? Server application. SBI server application. Okay, this is the client application, which is a web application. Just now I said we can have different types of clients. Are you listening my statement, boss? Okay. Nice, boss. Now listen. Same end user can operate the application using mobile app, boss. You can use one or other mobile app or not. You can use one or other mobile app. Maybe Android one, maybe iOS one. I'm not highlighting that. Okay, guys. This time what? Myntra mobile app. Myntra app or SBI app. For daily balance inquiry, for transferring money, SBI mobile app. What is SBI mobile app name, guys? Yono app. Okay, SBI mobile app. All people are not aware of it. Yono app. Let us assume. Because I am not that much fan of SBI, boss. Okay. Yes. The end user can take the services, boss. This end user can take the services of what? SBI banking application through mobile app also. Understanding my statement, boss? Next, see, only one type of clients are there, different types of clients are there. No doubt we are having different types of clients, guys. Now listen carefully. So let us assume this can be there in what? Different environments. Okay, this can be there in This can be there in what? JS, JavaScript. JavaScript means Angular, AngularJS, React.js, or this can be there in what? Spring MVC, Spring MVC or Spring Boot MVC. Can be there in what? Servlet and JSP, comma, .NET. Many possibilities are there, boss. .NET or PHP. .NET or PHP. Anything is possible nowadays. So when I say JavaScript, not direct JavaScript, guys, you always think about Angular or React kind of thing. Angular or React kind of thing. Okay, guys. Next one, Myntra app, SBA mobile app, all these are the various things. So now listen, there is a possibility of connecting to that server application using ATM machine. Possibility is there or not there, boss? Using ATM machine also possibility is there. So let us assume this ATM machine is there in .NET. .NET, actually ATM machine sometime will be there in IBM mainframes also, boss. IBM mainframes and okay, different people will develop using different concepts, guys. Java, AWT, Swings. Java, AWT, Swings. Okay, .NET here actually C#, boss. In .NET, lot of C# will be used for bigger standalone UI, boss. Nothing else. They're planning to use standalone UI. End user operates ATM machine, boss. ATM machine will communicate with what? ATM machine will seriously communicate with what? Server application. Clear, boss? Next. See, for web application, only one type of client. What is that? Browser. For distributed application, other clients. other applications are client. So other application can be a website, other application can be a mobile application, other application can be a ATM machine. See the possibilities, see the different possibilities, guys. Next, boss, IVRS, interactive voice response system, guys. Who knows? SBI is giving to find out the balance. To find out the balance, yeah, somehow I can say it's a desktop application. To find out the balance, come on. To find out the balance, you can call and you can get the press the numbers and you can get the balance. To block the account, you can press some number, account will be blocked. Yes or no? No. To generate the PIN number, you can use IVRS. You can use IVRS. That means IVRS is also talking to server application and using various services of SBI. Na? So when I say SBI application, SBI server application, don't think that it is always, don't ever think that it is always withdraw deposit, boss. Apart from withdraw deposit, transfer money, there are so many services that SBI offers, right? And all those services will be there in the server application. Don't forget that. Yes, boss. Interactive voice response system, boss. This is one more type of client. This interactive voice response system, is developed by using some embedded systems concept, guys. What is that? Embedded systems concept. Embedded systems concept. Let us assume, boss, what is there in that? Embedded systems concept or IoT. This is also some kind of IoT, boss. Okay, guys. Yes. What about this code? This code will be there generally in web services or EaseAB or RMI. But EaseAB, RMI is outdated, Ra Babu. Nowadays, everyone is working with web services. Since it is there in web service, it is allowing what? Different types of clients and different language clients. What is the beauty of web service application, guys? The beauty of web service application is it allows different types of client and different languages based clients, guys. I hope you are understanding my statement, boss. Right. Okay. Next. Sometimes we don't pay directly from SBI, boss. We pay through Google Pay. Google Pay contacts SBI. Say something, my dear. We don't pay directly. We pay through Google Pay, right? We pay through Google Pay. Understanding my statement? Okay. Google Pay or Phone Pay. And interestingly, another distributed application this is. Another distributed application, which is again developed in web services. Yes, boss. I hope you are enjoying, boss. Enjoy learning. Right, boss? So we have different options here or not? Right, boss. I'm giving my last option. Swiping machine. Swiping machine is there or not there? Swiping machine, boss. Swiping machine. When you go to petrol bunk, when you go to supermarket, you will use the card. Through swiping machine, right? So this is also IoT, Internet of Things, or embedded system. IoT, embedded system, both are back to back, guys. Embedded system is the basic application. In that one, quite advanced application is called IoT, Internet of Things. Right, guys. This will interact with our application. Now listen. I said it's a B2B. Okay, I said it's a B2B. Come on, guys. Yeah, there are so many IoT applications, boss. So many are there. Even Alexa comes under IoT. Alexa, switch on the light. Alexa, switch off the lights. Is IoT. IoT is everywhere. Okay, why it is named as IoT, you know? Earlier, people used to use internet. Okay, people used to use internet through mobile devices. But now, devices itself directly using internet and taking the decisions and making the decision and implementing the decision. See, guys, earlier, how people used to use internet, either through computer or mobile, people used to use internet. But nowadays, devices itself, things itself, non-human beings, things are using internet. That's why Google Assistant, okay, Alexa, tell me, they are using internet directly or not? That's the reason they named it as what? IoT. I'll tell one best example for IoT, guys. Smart glasses, smart specs, smart watches. Okay, how smart glasses will work, guys? The moment you keep them, okay, your daily schedule will come. Daily schedule will come. Okay, you will get offers that are there in the market. Are you getting my point there? So it is not just glasses. It is what? Using internet and doing some helpful things for you. Now tell me, you are using internet, or your glasses are using internet, Nadera? You are not using internet. Your glasses are using internet. Internet is a human being or non-human being? Non-human being. Non-human beings are called what? Things. So internet of things. IoT means what, guys? Internet of things. Where non-human beings uses the internet directly. Non-human beings uses the internet directly. Example, smart glasses, smart watches, Google Assistant. Okay, IoT itself separate technology, boss. In IoT, Java is there, Python role is there. Okay, Java role is there, Python role is there, Google Assistant. Okay, next one, smart ACs. Smart ACs. Yeah, Node.js is also used. Node.js is also used. Are your home automation is there, na? Home automation, recognizing you by seeing your face and opening the door, recognizing you through smart, this one, so thumb impression, smart TV. Okay, smart ACs and etc. everywhere. And smart ACs are very interesting, boss. Once your car enters into 5 kilometer radius of your home, through GPS it recognizes. Come on. Through GPS it recognizes and automatically switches on the AC. Once your car enters into 5 kilometer radius of your home, GPS recognizes your car. That means recognize you are going to come to home very soon. You coming and switching on the AC and AC taking 5 to 10 minutes to cool down the room. Before 10 minutes only it will switch on the AC automatically, dynamically based on GPS location. Come on. And the moment you come to room, you can enjoy. You can enjoy cooled room, guys. Fine, boss. Right, boss? I think you understood, you enjoy all these things. See, guys, I said it's a method calls. Definitely, boss. Method. Server application will have one or other method fulfilling our request. All these people will call those methods or not. Your request and response will be there. Method calls will be there. Definitely method calls will be there. Sir, in IoT where we do those method calls, either using Java or using Python, we can do those method calls. Android, using Java, we do method calls. And anyhow, web service, na boss. Server application is web service. Client can be there in different languages, either locally or remotely. And everything happens through method calls only here. No request, no response. Though they use HTTP, they work with what? Method calls environment. A method which is representing service in server application will be called by client. Definitely will be called by client. Are you listening my statement, guys? Okay, now listen. Anyhow, discussion has come. This is called front-end development. This is called front-end development. And the server application development is also called back-end development. Back-end development. Sindhu, IoT also can use a network, but they will use different protocols. Zigbee protocol, G-Wave protocol, protocols are different. Okay, here is what back-end development. Right, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed, guys. I hope you got crystal clear clarity about what this one. I said it's a business to business. Listen, Flipkart.com itself one business application. Mintra app itself one business application. ATM machine itself one business application. What do you say, guys? No end user will directly talk with what? This server application of distributed application. End user talks to one website or one mobile application or one ATM machine or one IVRS or one other distributed application or swiping machine. These applications are designed to talk with the server application. So end user to server application is not possible. Always end user uses one business application. That business application talks with this. Okay, guys. Now I will give crystal clear clarity by, listen. Browser is there talking to Flipkart.com. Flipkart.com is there talking to PayPal. Not that one. That is directly using banking application. PayPal, payment broker, guys. PayPal is there talking to Visa, Master, who provides worldwide infrastructure to work with credit cards and debit cards. Master, Mastrio application. Come on. Mastrio application. Rupee application is also there. Yes. Okay. This is PayPal application, boss. This is Flipkart application. That means web application. Application means web application. Yes, guys. Yes, okay. Let me give rupee also, boss. We should encourage our Indian company also. Okay. Next, this application talks with what? Bank application. What is bank application? Banking application, boss. SBI. Just now I have taken one part there. ICICI ... Okay, SBI, ICICI ... And that will talk to database software. This much hangama is there, guys. For credit card and debit card payment, this much hangama will happen. Yes, this is e-commerce application. E-commerce application while using card payment. Not by using UPA. While using UPA, story is different. Tell me, what is the flow while using UPA? Browser to Flipkart.com, Flipkart.com to UPA, UPA to banking application directly. No master this one. Okay. Browser to Flipkart.com, Flipkart.com to UPA. Okay, UPA to banking application, guys. Understanding my statement, boss? Right. E-commerce application while using UPI payment. While using UPI payment. Up to the same, my dear. Up to the same. After that, what next? Google Pay or Phone Pay application directly talks to banking application. Banking application means what? SBI, ICICI, ICICI database software. Database software. What I said, web application, enterprise application can be web application or distributed application or combination of both. I hope you remembered all this stuff, guys. Right. Now listen this story here. Browser to flipkart.com is a website. Is a web application, no doubt in that. Yes, flipkart.com talking to PayPal. Are PayPal is a payment broker, ra babu. PayPal is a payment broker. See, which customer uses which card, they don't know. Flipkart directly talking to Visa, Flipkart directly talking to Master, Flipkart directly talking to RuPay. Difficult. And that too in different countries, different cards are there. Different payment gateways are there. Are you listening my statement, boss? That's why Flipkart says, I will give the card number, guys. I will give the card number. Hey, payment broker, it's your headache finding out which card belongs to whom. And talking to them and giving money is your headache. For that one, some commission will be given. That's a different story. Okay. He is the payment broker. In this world, let us assume 200 payment gateways are there. Why Flipkart will keep the headache of talking to 200 payment gateways? Think logically. And new payment gateways will come, old payment gateways will change. Why Flipkart will hit their head to do all these things? That too, there are a lot of e-commerce application. All e-commerce application bothering about 200 payment gateways is meaningless. Payment gateway is providing worldwide infrastructure to operate cards, guys. To operate cards. If payment gateways are not there, worldwide infrastructure to work with credit cards and debit cards will not be there. What is this application? Distributed application. You didn't believe, na? One distributed application talks with another distributed application. Here is the example. Here is the example. Flipkart.com is the client using PayPal, which is a server application. And this server application is client to payment gateway server application. That means one distributed application acting as a client to another distributed application or not. Distributed application. Acceptance is very, very important, guys. I will give this kind of use cases, many things. Again, distributed application. Now tell me, customer to business, customer to business, C2B, C2B, business to business, business to business, business to business. Don't write anything. It's a normal database interaction, boss. It's a purely normal database interaction. Okay, I think I need not to tell what's happening here. So I think you can identify how it works in UPI payment, right? Right. I think now you got a clarity, boss. Listen. See, master people will have their own local database. PayPal will have their own local database. Flipkart also will have their local database. I am not highlighting it. Every application will have their local database. Otherwise, who will do persistence activity in each places? Understanding my statement, boss. Okay. Spring Boot REST. Spring Boot REST. Spring Boot REST can be used. Spring Boot REST. What is this? RESTful web services. RESTful web service environment, guys. Web service environment can be used to develop distributed applications, both client and server applications, distributed applications, guys. Okay, so now I have a question. What about remaining modules, sir? What about remaining? Because 1, 2 modules are sufficient. What about remaining modules? Spring Core for standalone application, MVC, Spring Boot MVC for what? Web application, Spring Boot REST for distributed application. What about remaining modules? Why they have given remaining modules? Okay, each module is given for a different purpose. For example, Spring Boot JDBC, Spring Boot ORM. Today I'm talking only in Spring Boot angle. Same thing is applicable in Spring angle, boss. Spring Boot data JPA, Spring Boot data JPA modules are given to make Spring Boot standalone, web application, distributed applications. They are not there to develop entire application, boss. They are the helping modules to make this Spring Boot application interacting with SQL database softwares. Interacting with SQL database software. Understanding? Spring Boot ORM is there. If you use Spring ORM in Spring Boot style, that is Spring Boot ORM. I keep on telling Hemanta, again you are coming back to original. If I use core module in Spring Boot angle, Spring Boot core. If I use MVC module in Spring Boot style, Spring Boot MVC. If I use any module in Spring Boot style, that is Spring Boot. Are you listening? Okay. Distributed applications. Interacting with SQL database software and to perform CORD operations. Okay, CORD operations. CORD operation. Jitendra, I think you missed last class, it seems. JAX RS is an API. Spring Boot RS is Spring REST. Spring Boot RS is not there. Spring REST is there. Is a framework. JAX RS is an API technology. Okay, Spring REST is a framework. Jersey is also framework. Please attend classes regularly, Mr. Jitendra. I think you got the clarity, guys. Now tell me. Now, another module, guys. Spring Boot MongoDB. Spring Boot MongoDB. Come on. Module is given. Spring Boot, actually, Spring Boot, not MongoDB. Spring Boot NoSQL. Spring Boot data NoSQL. Data JPA for talking with SQL database software. Spring Boot NoSQL module is given to make Spring Boot standalone web application, distributed application, interacting with NoSQL database software and to perform CORD operations. Okay, nowadays we have SQL database software, NoSQL database software. Are you understanding my point? Okay. MongoDB, Cassandra, okay, Neo4j. There are so many names, guys. There are so many names, but MongoDB and Cassandra are a bit popular. Why NoSQL? Why SQL database are not good in some situation? I will discuss when I launch those modules. Now tell me. Spring Boot AOP. Spring Boot AOP. Spring Boot transaction management. Spring Boot transaction management are given to make AOP, mistake is mine. Spring Boot AOP. Spring Boot transaction management are given to make Spring data big. Hadoop belongs to big data, boss. They are big data frameworks. Right. I am going to teach MongoDB, boss. As part of our discussion, this course covers MongoDB. Okay. Make Spring Boot standalone, web applications, distributed applications. Okay, distributed application to add additional, optional, and configurable. Configurable means ability to enable or disable. Ability to enable or disable. Come on. Ability to enable or disable. Secondary services. Secondary services are logics. Are logics. Okay. Like logging, auditing, transaction management, performance monitoring, and etc. These are not primary logics, guys. These are secondary logics. If they're good, if not there, no problem. These secondary services, secondary logics makes application perfect and accurate, but does not mean they should be there. If they're fine and nice, if not there, no problem. Are you listening my statement, guys? Okay, listen carefully, boss. I am conducting class by enabling chat box and video streaming of my face. Okay, video streaming and chat box. If they're fine, if not there also class will happen. But when these two are there, our class become more interactive, right? And you will feel I am sitting right beside you, right in front of you and talking. And you will feel you are not listening any recorded voice session or YouTube videos. You are feeling you are attending live class because of chat box, right? And now tell me, guys, chat box and my face video streaming are minimum services to conduct the class or optional services to conduct the class? They are not primary services to conduct the class. Faculty, Zoom, these are the primary services, right? But chat box facility, video streaming of my face, optional and additional. Okay, whenever I want, I can disable. Whenever I want, I can enable. When they are there, I can conduct class more interactive, more perfectly, more accurately. And you definitely get the feeling it's a live session. Without that, still class will happen. But you never get the feeling it's a live class. I think you understood the difference between primary logics and secondary logics, guys. Banking application, withdraw logic, primary logic. Deposit logic, primary logic. Come on. Are you getting my point there? Transfer money, primary logic. Checking balance, primary logic. Opening account, primary logic. Closing account, primary logic. Availing loan, primary logics. Okay. Logging, secondary logic. Performance monitoring, secondary logics. I hope you are understanding. Primary means minimum. Secondary means optional. If they're fine. If not there also, not a problem. Yes, guys. Spring Boot security. Spring Boot OAuth. OAuth. Modules are given to add bike is a primary logic, accessories of bike. Accessories of bike, secondary logic. Car is a primary logic. Additional accessories in bike are secondary logics. Steering cover, mat, seat covers, these are optional. Spring Boot securities and comma auth modules are given to add security to security to web applications. Only web applications, guys. Some extent distributed applications. Distributed application. Which web application, guys? Spring Boot MVC based web application. Which distributed applications, guys? Spring REST based web distributed applications. Come on. Every module is having its own purpose, guys. Spring Boot mail. Spring Boot mail module is given. Mail module is given to add mailing facility. What facility? Mailing facility to the application. Okay. Spring Boot mail. Okay. Okay. Next one. Spring Boot batch. Array, same modules are there in Spring also. Okay, I'm just highlighting in Spring Boot style because we are learning in Spring Boot style. Spring Boot batch is given to add batch processing facility to perform batch processing of huge amount of data. Huge amount of data. Batch processing of huge amount of data. Listen, guys, LIC is having 40 crore. Listen. Batch processing. LIC having 40 crore policy holders. Some people will pay quarterly. Some people will pay monthly. Some people will pay half yearly. Some people pay yearly. Okay, from 40 crore people, come on, detecting whose payment is due next month and triggering SMS message can be done manually. No. We have to go through 40 crore policy holder details. It has to detect how many people payment is due next month. How many people payment is due next month? Come on. Okay, sending SMS message, triggering email messages is definitely needs what? Spring batch. Definitely needs what? Spring batch. Are you getting my point or not? Okay, guys. Now, Pradhan Mantri Modi, our Prime Minister Modi announced. Actually, in this process, we need Spring Boot scheduling also required for that. Scheduling. Or how does it know it should run at the end of every month? How does it know it has to run at the end of every month? To perform batch processing of huge amount of data periodically. Scheduling. SCH. Yes. Yeah, right only now, guys. Spring Boot scheduling. Yeah. To perform batch processing of huge amount of data periodically. Are you understanding? Periodically means what? Every month 30th date, LIC application should perform this. Find out whose payment is due next month and it trigger SMS messages or triggering email messages. Needs Spring Batch. Okay, PM Modi announced, okay, depositing 6,000 rupees in farmer's account, right? So many farmers have applied, boss. Nearly how many farmers have applied? 60 crore farmers. In that one, some fake farmers will be there. So to detect that, Spring Batch is required. Why? Processing 60 crore applications, finding out who is having less than 10 acres land, finding out who is doing IT returns. If you are doing IT returns, okay, you are not eligible for that criteria. Who is already having government job? Who is already having government job? Okay, so those people should be removed from the list, though they have applied. Are you understanding? So for that one, batch processing is required or not required? Because 60 crore people have applied, boss. But in that one, they need to filter by doing so many criterias. Tell me, 60 crore records should be processed batch by batch. Definitely, normal applications are not sufficient. We need batch processing. We need batch processing, guys. Right. Sending monthly reminders for EMIs. Bank loans will be there. Crores of people use banks to take the loans. Sending reminders for monthly EMIs. Sending reminders for monthly EMIs needs batch processing. Doing respective calculation. This much due is there, this much due is not there. So many calculation, all these things. Okay. Ticket booking does not need batch processing. Sorry. Ticket booking, all people will not book at a time. Sorry, boss. That's an end user individual activity only. I think today you got complete clarity about our course, guys. Complete which module for which purpose. No confusion. Today I wantedly spend time, guys. Though you already aware of standalone application and web application. Okay. Sir, scheduling is there to do works on periodically. Scheduling is nothing but what? Doing the things periodically is called scheduling. And this guy asked, what is the difference between Spring Boot and Spring Boot scheduling? Spring Boot schedule is the module name, which is there in Spring Boot. What's happening, guys? Okay. Mr. Bipin Kumar, Spring Boot scheduling is part of Spring Boot. Is a one small module or small topic of Spring Boot, which also can be used in Spring. Okay. One final conclusion. All the modules of Spring, all the modules of Spring Boot, okay, Spring Boot can also be implemented, can also be used as Spring modules. Spring modules, right? Okay, guys. Hemanta is asking, what about activator? Spring Boot activator or Spring Boot special module, guys, to enjoy non-functional features, health metrics, memory utilization, performance, non-functional features, boss. How many web services are used by project? What are those? To add non-functional features, boss. Spring Boot activators. Activators module is given. Module is given to add non-functional features to Spring Boot applications like health metrics. What is the health of the project? Health metrics. What is this? Health metrics, memory memory management, and etc. I think, yes, Ashish, I too have another session at 9 o'clock. Oh, today it touched 8:56. Actually, I thought of winding up the session. This topic, boss. That's why I dragged. Don't worry. Tomorrow I will leave. Tomorrow I will leave, boss. I think everyone benefited, guys. PK Kaladar. Railway server distribute application because server will be maintained different locations for transference. Yes, you can say it's a distributed application, no doubt in that. And that too, it allows different type of applications. So our Spring Boot MVC will be Thymeleaf or servlet JSP. We can develop using servlet JSP, Thymeleaf. We will be using both. We will be using both. Abhishek Singh, today's class is very much enjoyed. Good. I joined today only. Will be any hands-on exercise Spring Boot module. Srinidhi, once already coding started and we are going to see all these modules very much practically. 120 plus sessions. It's a still initial days. Still initial days. Everything will be shown practically. That is the overall idea. By seeing the session, you can understand with your common sense. This is not any module technical launch, boss. It is overall idea about all the modules. Yes, I think your basic common sense says it is an intro session only, right? Fine, boss. So tomorrow onwards, again, programming will be started, boss. I have launched first application. Spring Boot application, enable auto configuration. Both are different, boss. Spring Boot application internally uses @enable auto configuration. @enable auto configuration. Nitin, microservice details are already given in the beginning of the session, in the last session. Please watch video. Don't join lately. Come on time. Okay. No recordings will be given. You have to attend live classes. No recordings will be given. You have to attend live classes. Right. Only initial classes recordings will be there. Okay. Raja Y. I think I have given some YouTube video links. YouTube video links, right? Entire company uses Git through Eclipse. No need of learning commands. If you learn, it will be added advantage. Okay, guys. Surya, while learning Spring REST, we will be studying Swagger. We will be studying Swagger. Bipin Kumar, same course will be started after 1.5 months in the evening slot. 6 p.m. slot. Okay, boss. Sorry, boss. I cannot give Word document. I can give only paintbrush document. Open by using paint application, not a problem. And it's been my practice from last 10 years. So don't expect any Word document because drawing diagrams through Word document is very impossible in the classroom. Spring transaction, Spring JDBC videos will be given in the middle of the class once registrations are covered. Apache Kafka is itself a big course, guys. Awareness will be given. Question. Mr. Question, just now I shared some video link. You can watch them. Akash Gupta, tomorrow onwards programming will be started. We will see more annotations, more Spring Boot standalone applications. Sridevi, I will cover Spring REST before starting microservices, that itself web services. No, you are looking for exclusive batch of web service, you have to wait. Right now, no slot is free. Once a slot is free, I will let you know. How many projects will be developed in this course? 4 to 5 projects will be developed in this course. For every 20-25 days, one or other project will be developed. Praveen, if you want to enjoy Spring Boot Data JPA, if you want to understand Spring Boot Data JPA, you have to learn Hibernate. Hibernate is a separate course, will not be covered here. Okay, guys. Raja Y, Mostly weekend sessions are either 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. Spring Cloud will be covered more in depth, boss. Microservices, Spring Cloud will be covered more in depth. 30 to 40 sessions we will be spending on it. Okay, guys. Charan K. Since all those topics are moved to Spring Boot microservices, you will be studying in Spring Boot microservices. Okay. Aritra Nande, Log4j, SLS4j will be covered depth. What about deployment? We will be deploying using regular servers, and as part of cloud, I will be using PCF and AWS both. PCF and AWS both. Okay, duration 120 sessions. Okay, Docker Jenkins will be covered. Kubernetes awareness will be given because Kubernetes itself is a separate course, guys. Nitin Maswak, in the Facebook group where I am sharing the notes, already video links are already there in the chat box. Please collect Mr. Bindu Sagar. Okay, guys. PCF, AWS both are paid. Somehow I'll manage to arrange and I will show it. Yes, Spring Boot and microservice together 120 plus sessions. Right now, no parallel batch. If there, I will announce. Web service slot is not there. Once we work it out, we will let you know. Yeah, this is the place where you can collect this one. Why to learn DevApps? DevApps should be learned to make deployment process easy. Deployment process easy, Mr. Akshay. DevApps and AWS to make yourself as a build team member, build and deploy team member. Spring Boot microservices to make yourself as a developer, and to make yourself as a build team member, build and deploy to member DevApps. Fresher not required. Fresher DevApps and AWS is not required. Okay, guys. Prashant Kumar, in companies, Git will be used through Eclipse. No need of learning commands. Bipin Kumar, our admin people will share account number. Please contact admin. He will share the account number. Charan K, as I said, since they are moved to Spring Boot and microservices, okay, once those topics are completed in this batch, ping me. I will try to help you personally. Okay, guys. Akshay, I received. I still didn't check. Can you send one more time? Bipin Kumar, total 120 sessions. Total 120 sessions. It's not 2 months course. 2 months only Spring Boot will happen. You want depth subject, you have to give time, mister. Class content, Spring 713. Not 713. This is Spring Boot